everyone, I'm Sophia with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. The life of today's saint was only preserved by the writings of his enemy and anti-pope. With all this in mind, we take into account what was said and what tradition says in response to this holy man's life. Callistus was born a slave in the household of Caesar sometime in the early 2nd century. As a faithful servant, his master Carpophorus entrusted Callistus with his banking affairs. Due to many poor choices and failed loans with too many individuals who had no intentions of paying him back, Carpophorus' finances collapsed. Knowing that he would be blamed, Callistus fled, but was quickly caught and stripped of his titles. Callistus was then sent to work manual labor in the city that he would soon become bishop over, Rome. He worked in the tin mines for a number of years, and eventually, because of his Christian faith, was granted his freedom thanks to the current Pope Victor I, another future saint of the Church. Things were finally looking hopeful for this newly free and innocent man. Once granted his freedom, Callistus became a deacon and was appointed caretaker of a major Roman Christian cemetery by the next Pope, Zephyrinus. The cemetery is all still known to this day as the Cemetery of St. Callistus in his honor. The deacon also served as an advisor of Pope Zephyrinus and thus became the next obvious choice for papacy in the year 219, until his own death 3 years later. When you tell God that life is looking great, he tends to do you one better and challenge you to not be conformed, but transformed. Pope Callistus rose to the papal throne during one of the most chaotic era of schisms in the Church, and was constantly challenged by one of the first anti-popes and his greatest critic, Hippolytus. Pope Callistus was accused of being supportive of countless heresies, all because of his strong stance on mercy, healing, and forgiveness. He taught that sinners who truly repented and performed their penance were allowed to return to communion. He also said that economic classes wasn't a barrier for whether or not a couple could be married. And he claimed that in the matters of concerning the sacraments, church law took precedence over civil law. Now, I don't know about you, but those definitely don't sound like heretical teachings the church wouldn't call truth. Unfortunately, Pope Callistus was martyred in the year 222 during the persecutions of Alexander Severus, and never got to witness the reconciliation between Hippolytus and the Church. But praise be to God, Hippolytus did reconcile with Pope Pontificus just before they were both martyred during some time in the 3rd century. It was said that this was made possible through the intercession of St. Callistus himself. It's because of St. Callistus' leadership and strength to uphold Christian orthodoxy that he was quickly recognized as a martyr and saint, no matter the recorded words of his antagonizing critics. May we too have the courage to keep our own faith at the center of our lives and trust in the plan God has for us. Pope St. Callistus I, pray for us.